5 o'clock meeting, hopefully we'll be having, but it worked out well. Was the meeting posted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to do the all alcoholic beverages. We're going to do all of them, right?
Right. Is Frankie Dakota here?
Frankie Dakota, no show. Next.
Okay, the commission will now take up the applications for special one-day licenses for alcohol beverages, starting with the applications for all alcoholic beverages. Emily Kionis of the Under Impact Pub and Lounge for Folk Festival weekend, Saturday, July 28th from 12 noon to 12 midnight, and Sunday, July 29th, 2007 from 12 noon to 10 p.m. The location in an enclosed area at the corner of Merrimack and Palmer Streets at 160 Merrimack Street. Fernando Silva of the Holy Ghost Society, Holy Ghost Park at 65 Village Street. There are 16 applications for all alcoholic beverages for events starting Sunday, July 15th, Saturday, July 21, Sunday, July 22nd, Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August the 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th, Saturday, September 1, Sunday, September 2, Monday, September 3, Saturday, September 8, Saturday, September 22nd, Saturday, September 29th, Saturday, October 6th, and Saturday, October 13th, and Saturday, October 20th. All of them are activities that are scheduled in the evening, as late as 1 a.m., some beginning sooner, at early as 1 p.m. There is also application for malt beverage and wine only by Ali Nakpuria of the Bombay Mahal Restaurant for the Folk Festival weekend, Friday, July 27th from 12 noon to 10 p.m., and Saturday, July 28th from 12 noon to 10 p.m. This location would be an enclosed area of the sidewalk and street in front of 43-45 Middle Street. Mr. Chairman, Emily Kionis' application, there's some concern about what will be the proper location for the outside venue.
Okay, Emily, as I understand it, there's the difference between Palmer Street and Merrimack Street, and that the city has granted a outdoor cafe license to the bakery.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you gotten together to resolve that issue?
Yeah, we already get together. We having a condo association meeting today. They're part of the condo association to get like clear and agree with all the issues gonna be posted for that day. But my concern, they're not gonna do nothing for the fall festival, so they don't have any issue if we use that part.
I know, but the problem there is the city has leased that section of the sidewalk, okay? And the city requires that, what's it, $500,000?
Right, the city of Lowell has...
Okay, the city has $500,000, insurance on that, okay? Now, if you set up in the same place, you have to be insured. Now, I just don't think that can be worked out that way. I don't.
Well, can I just...
Go ahead.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, just for the record and for the public, there is a bakery in the same building at 160 Merrimack Street. And it approached the city of Lowell, and the city council granted a sidewalk seating license for the side of the building at 160 Merrimack Street on the Palmer Street side. The requirement of the licensee is to have an insurance policy of $500,000 minimum to ensure that the city of Lowell is covered. That particular policy and that particular license has been granted and it's been issued. The concern is that Emily, as a representative for the restaurant, the Under Impact Pub, is whether, under those circumstances, whether the city, the licensing board, can grant a one-day liquor license for that identical location where the policy of the current licensee is for the particular business itself, the bakery.
Okay.
So this is yet to be resolved.
Right. And it hasn't been resolved. Okay. I know that we said today was going to be the last day for the folk festival. Okay, I think you have a unique situation. I think it needs to be worked out. Why we can postpone this without a finding. You got to work it out as to how that's going to be set up.
Yeah, we're waiting for Chris, like the one in the DTA department.
Okay.
So we all gonna get together and make that kind of agreement.
Okay.
And can you have everything ready for the next meeting, which I think is scheduled for the
For the
26th? Yes.
Yeah,
All right, you'll have everything worked out as far as insurance, some
we
kind
already
of
had the insurance.
letter of permission from the bakery?
Well, that's what we're
Because-
working out.
Okay.
Okay.
And, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I could also just say
Sure.
that Frankie Dakota, Mambo Grill, is also here as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
Thank you.
we'll take a motion to,
Okay, I'll make the motion then that we just table this one for 2 weeks. Okay,
Okay.
and we'll see you back here on the 26th. In favor?
in favor.
All right, yes.
Yes. Okay? So come back in 2 weeks and we'll get together on it, try to get it, okay? Mr. Dakota,
Yes.
oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Just introduce yourself for the record, please.
My name's Frankie Dakota from the Mambo Grill.
Okay, and
You two
introduce
gentlemen?
yourself, sir.
Fernando Silva for the Gallagher Society.
Okay, and
Nagpuria for the Bombay Mahal restaurant, Lowell, 45 Middle Street.
okay,
Okay.
all right. You, Fernando, you are an officer of the Holy Ghost Park.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I noticed that you have a number of events here that are going to run till 1 o'clock, and I also noticed that you got a number of events that are going to be outside till midnight. Okay. We're going to be nice and quiet, and we're going to have everything running nice and smooth, right?
I believe this will be used all this year.
Okay. Well, you know, we want to keep it that way, and I don't know how familiar you are with the system.
I'm familiar, because I've been there since January this year.
January this year, okay? We had one complaint, which was the first time we've had a complaint in a number of years. So I just want to reiterate to you that, you know, make sure the sound's kept down, make sure folks understand that you're in a neighborhood. We hope you have a great time. We hope everything works out really well. So this is your first, have you been before us before?
No.
No.
First time.
Okay. This is your first 16 licenses.
Correct, sir.
Okay. You understand this is your license, not the Holy Ghost Park, not the Holy Ghost Society, not the Holy Ghost, or whatever. This is your license. This license is going to say Fernando Silva. Okay? You're in charge. You're in charge. If the thing gets out of hand, if somebody gets served, if somebody gets in trouble, guess who they're going to go after? Right. Absolutely. And we don't say that to scare you. We say that to make sure you understand that sometimes when we're involved in charitable events, we're all so excited about, we're going to make $1 million on this one. This is going to be the best one we ever put on. You be the bartender and you do this and you do, and all of a sudden, you know, people are behind the bar and they're not checking IDs. That's a private party. I don't care what it is. You got to check an ID. You know, put a sign up. If you're not 80 in a wheelchair, you're going to get checked. Period. End of statement. There's no exceptions. That saves you all kinds of grief. You know, some people get their, you know, I think that adults get to a point where male or female, that, you know, after you're over a certain age, they ask you for an ID. You're kind of like, wow, you know, I really look that young. But then after you get to you're a certain point, of course, they get ticked off because you're asking. Well, ask everybody, and then there's no. If you ask for the ID, then there's no problem. Okay?
I think we've been doing all this year, and everything's been going very well.
I think it has too.
We have a good
Your first time out. I don't want to see you back here for any reason other than to get your brother's sitting there laughing. Okay? See, he stuck your head in a noose. He didn't tell you. Okay? But we don't want to see you back here for any other reason except to get a couple more licenses for Holy Ghost Park. It contributes a lot to the city. It contributes to a lot of charities. It does a lot of good. And we want to see you keep going. Okay?
And I will
right.
contribute my best to keep it the way it has been, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emily. No, Emily,
No, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm not, no.
Frankie.
Frankie,
Ms. Discoto.
you've been before us before, correct? Okay. Do you have any questions? You understand how this,
I don't have any questions. I would just like to say that I spoke with Captain Stavely. I believe that's his last name.
Yeah.
And he has agreed to come down with Chris Samaras before the festival starts
Okay.
to approve our setup, since we had a problem with that last year.
okay? Make sure that while you're open, I don't know if you weren't here at the last meeting, the license is to be prominently displayed.
I was here.
The police should not have to ask to see the license. It should be right there. Oh, there it is, right there. Here's a little diagram of exactly the space we're licensed to be in, our little area, okay? Somebody coming and going, controlled at all times, okay? And
Mr. Nagpura.
you've been before us.
Yes.
Okay? And you've done this before,
Yeah,
so you don't need me to reiterate,
sure.
okay?
Yeah,
It's a folk festival weekend, all of you, where people are coming to the city. As Captain Taylor used to say in his younger days, they're not coming to go to church, they're coming to have a good time.
yes, sir.
That doesn't mean we let them go crazy. They can have a good time without going crazy, okay?
Yeah.
Any questions,
We
Ray?
did the last year also, same thing. We
Okay.
did the last year also.
Yeah.
so, yes.
I have no questions. I'll make the motion to grant the licenses for Mr. Escoto, Mr. Silva, and Mr. Nagpura.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, some of you have amplified sound. I'm going to ask the secretary to read the people that are applying for permits for the, you don't have to read the dates, Ryan, just the,
Okay.
so we see
Sir,
if
you're all
everybody's
set.
here. You're all set.
Thank you.
Okay, with regard to the amplified outdoor public entertainment, Frankie Dakota of the Mambo Grill for the Folk Festival weekend, where there'll be live music and sound system Friday, July 27th from 5 p.m. to 12 midnight, Saturday, July 28th from 5 p.m. to 12 midnight, and Sunday, July 29th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Your location in an enclosed area of Merrimack Street and the sidewalk in front of 129 Merrimack. Brianne Primo for live music with sound system on behalf of the First Church of the Nazarene. 1195 Arnhem Ave for Friday, July 20th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And also Leo Silva of the Holy Ghost Society for events at the Holy Ghost Park, Saturday, August 18th from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. Amplification of sound system in conjunction with the car show. And for Saturday, September 1, Sunday, September 2, and Monday, September 3 from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight and 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is the Loretto Feast where there'll be a sound system.
Okay, introduce yourself, please.
Come on up to the mic.
Brianne Primo for Lowell First Church of the Nazarene.
Okay,
Frankie Dakota, Mambo Grill.
okay,
Leo Silva, Holy Ghost Society.
okay. On Sunday, the 29th of the Folk Festival, were they all getting done at the same time? Was there, was the last permits that we had, or the last,
What were the Sunday time cutoffs?
what was the Sunday time?
What it's understood, and I believe it'll be a determination ultimately if the Lowell Police have issue with some of the amplification locations where they're unrelated to the folk festival, that is to say, it's not part of the venue. Could be, if there's a conflict, they'll not be permitted to continue with their sound system.
I thought that they were all going to get through at a certain time on Sunday, though.
That'd be 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
It is, and
That's what I'm wondering.
Captain Stavely has
Okay.
made it known
Yep.
that he'll allow
All right.
latest 10 p.m.
Okay.
So Leo, you're the sound man, huh? Stand right up, make sure they can get a good picture of you on television, okay? Because you're the guy that's really responsible. We never have any other complaints except the sound. So now we got a face that we can kind of put with that, okay? And we're hoping that you're going to not have your face on a wanted poster, okay? All right. The sound is common sense. There's sound, and then there's sound. And I'm going to blare the guy out down below so people will come to my place. It doesn't work. Excuse me. All it does is get the people upset. The people in the downtown area, the people in the neighborhood, it gets them upset. It doesn't do anything. Okay? You run a nice operation with good music that people can sit and talk. You're going to have a wonderful time. Okay? Please do that. Ray?
I have no questions. I'll make a motion to grant the outdoor sound permits.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Okay?
Commission will now take up applications for sidewalk stand permits, all relating to the Folk Festival weekend, July 27th, 28th, 29th. First was G&L Harding LLC. Greg Harding is the manager, doing business as Giovanni Trends. I believe that's, I'm not sure the number of address on Merrimack Street. Barnes & Noble, Manya
Greg
Callahan.
Harding here.
Manya Callahan, the manager at 151 Merrimack Street. Salon City, Regina Allen McFadden, president, 173 Market Street. Elizabeth Stewart, doing business as Lush Beads, 120 Merrimack Street. And Middle Palmer LLC, Cafe Paradiso, 45 Palmer Street, Adriana DeStefano, and Ryan Guthrie, of the Coffee Mill, 23 Palmer Street, for location at 24 Palmer Street, in front of the Armed Services Recruiting Office, represented by Patricia Collins.
Okay, would you be kind enough just to step up to the mic and introduce yourself for the record?
Regina Allen McFadden, Salon City. Elizabeth Stewart with Lush Beads.
Adriana De Stefano with Cafe Paradiso.
Manya Callahan, Barnes & Noble.
Patricia Collins, The Coffee Mill.
So the only one we're missing, then we have a no-show for GL Harding.
Greg Harding. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, it's the only no-show, though. Okay. I'm sure that, by the time you've gotten here, you've all had get your insurance and, everything under the stand. You understand that you can only sell the products that you represent your store. We don't need to start a turf war over anybody trying to sell or bring in something that you don't, okay? Your insurance and everything, I can't see. How many of you done this before? All of you, okay. How many of you went to jail after last year? Hey, step in the right direction, right? Well, you all made it through the weekend, so hey, get a shot and take the next time out, right? Any questions?
No, just please understand to keep the pedestrian areas clear enough so that, pedestrians and wheelchair-bound citizens can get through. Otherwise, thank you for everything you do during the festival. It helps to promote the city.
Okay, motion made to grant the licenses.
Second.
Motion seconded. All in favor say yes.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Continue the Harding application.
Yeah?
Continue it to the
Yeah.
next meeting.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
When will I get the permit? I'll mail it to you. Mail it to me? Thank you.
Okay, next on the
Application by
agenda. This is the old paradise.
Commission will now open the hearing on the application by a corporation known as Kebab Inc., doing business as Kebab Indian Grill, Krishna Yellowman Chili, president, for an all-alcoholic beverages restaurant license for premises at 1270 Westford Street, unit number 10, premises to include 2 rooms for restaurant, a bar area, kitchen. The premises are approximately 9,394 square feet. Mr. Chairman, a legal notice had been published in the local newspaper on June 29, 2007. The attorney's office had filed an affidavit indicating that notice was sent to property owners touching.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think you can take that. They can pick you up. Sit right over in here. Introduce yourself for the record, please. Put the mic on, please. Sorry. Tap that, make sure that green light is on.
Up the button.
There you go.
We're on.
You're on.
Good evening,
Hey,
gentlemen.
it's very, we get a free commercial out of this. Go ahead.
Pleasure to be here once again, and welcome to the new member. I represent Kebab Inc., corporation that is applying for a full alcoholic liquor license. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Prasad Polavarpu. I'm with Kebab Inc.
Krishna Elamanchali, Kebab Inc.
Okay. Have you folks done anything about the parking? That's my first concern up there. This was the old Paradise Buffet, right?
That's correct.
Downstairs.
Yeah. They have addressed it. They have not gone before the zoning board of appeals. However, it may not be necessary based on what the decision here today is. And if I can approach with a diagram. That is the proposed layout of Kebab, a family-style, and I stress family-style restaurant. As you can see, there's two proposed walls that will be placed up off the kitchen area. There is a small bar area with 10 stools. The anticipated dining room area will consist of 70 seats seated. There is a large kitchen area, as you can see, in a large area where the men's and ladies' rooms are. The area to the right that says existing dining area is approximately 5,000 square feet. That the intention is to only use that for special affairs and functions, which will be of a limited nature. The prior seating capacity here, based on the square footage, was 454. My clients in no way, in their stretch of the imagination, expect to have that kind of seating capacity. So it's suggested that we would be 250 at best if they had an affair in the existing dining area. And again, I stress this is a family-style restaurant. I'll bring the menu.
Thanks, Andy.
And as you can see, they intend to be a full-service restaurant, not a nightclub, not an entertainment center, not a place for any kind of raucous activities, not a place that's going to attract the youths of the city, not a place that they expect to serve alcohol as their prime commodity. As a matter of fact, the ethnicity and religion of these people is very moderate, if none at all drinking. But because the nature of the type of restaurant, they hope to attract the gentrified elements from Chelmsford and the surrounding areas in that location. So their expectations is a very high scale, very well run, very nice restaurant.
Can you tell me a little bit about their experience in running a restaurant, having handling an alcoholic beverage license?
Limited.
Limited.
They are professional people that this will be primarily their first real venture into this type of environment.
Okay.
But they have people that will be employed that are well known to them that can handle this type of.
They have people that have experience?
Yes.
Any of them here, or anybody has any of them been involved in anything here that we can say, hang our hat on and say?
My client will address that issue.
Okay.
No, so they're not here, but we are in a plan of hiring more people. But we do have one gentleman who would be the manager, who is coming out from a chain like Olive Garden. So he's going to be the manager on this for this restaurant. But we are in the process of locking him up. But we have approached, and he has given his consent. But like once this licensing and everything is done, we want to hire him.
So you're gonna make this investment, you're gonna put all your hope in this guy he's gonna be the guy that's gonna... Okay, give me some idea, how long has he worked for Olive Garden?
We'll be running the business, sir, but like we'll be running this like more like a professionally, and we want to grow from here. I mean, like we want to start this kebab. As you are aware, like kebab is a healthy food. I mean, like we are trying to get healthy food for the family people, and we want to start it as a chain store, and this is where we are trying to start. I personally, I have an MBA from Oklahoma University, and one of my criteria was like I went through hotel management back in India, and since this is my first venture, I really do not have any real experience, but I did work for Pizza Hut. I did work for McDonald's way back when I was in school. I was a manager of a pizza place called Pizza Inn in Oklahoma City. So that's my brief experience. But like we want to take this from here. We want to start a nice restaurant chain, and which is going to be the primary focus would be like a family atmosphere. Use all the authentic spices and show the people the Ayurvedic way of eating. That's how we are planning.
I think the menu speaks for itself, that they did put a lot of thought into this enterprise, and that they are very conscientious about having a real nice restaurant of this ethnicity. I think it shows that, I know that's probably not your cup of tea.
That isn't it. I mean, I want to see people make an investment, Andy. I mean, look, I want to see people make an investment in Lowell. I'm always screaming about people in Lowell. It seems to me everybody comes to Lowell, gets a paycheck, and goes home. I want to see people that get the paycheck, stay in Lowell, spend their money in Lowell, pay taxes in Lowell. It doesn't happen, okay? It doesn't happen.
And that's what these people
we need to
intend
have people that are going to invest in this community and have pride in it, okay? But in the same sense, I'm very concerned about somebody. I mean, nothing personally against it. I mean, my daughter worked at McDonald's, okay? My daughter was an assistant manager at McDonald's. I would never let my daughter run a restaurant serving alcohol to the general public. I mean, it's just, and I don't mean that these people are not trustworthy of being able to do it. I got to be, I just in my heart and soul, I need to know that, here is a gentleman who has had absolutely no experience. A pizza place and a McDonald's does not tell me that he's going to be able, I mean, you have been before us enough time to know how these people pass false IDs and they'll slip one in on you. And we have people come before us all the time that have been in the business for years, and they get tricked. They get tricked, or they get... I'm concerned about people investing a pile of money and not understanding the gravity of what they're taking on, okay?
I think they've done their research. I think they know what they're taking on. I think that they have the knowledge and the background, not particularly in the restaurant business, but in businesses, to know what it takes to run a business, and the involvement and the investment and the effort that they have to put into it.
Would your clients be willing to make sure that, if they're, that the bartenders that they do hire either are
Tip
experienced
certified.
or
They
at
will
least
all
tip
be tip certified.
Yes, sir. That's the reason. Like rather than counting on us, like we want to be a model citizens. I mean, like we want to get this town a good name. That's the reason why we want to hire a real professionals, like who knows his job, like how to handle this alcohol. I could go down, take a course, like a 40-hour course, and get a certificate. I'm in the process of getting that, but I really want a professional guy who knows in and out of this. So that's the reason why we are talking to, as I was telling you, sir, like we are talking to one gentleman who I really can't tell the name right now because of, I really don't have anything in my hand right now. I do not have the license. Once this goes through, I want to hire him. I want him to be in charge. And like we will be running the business.
Is he going to be the manager of record?
Yes, sir. Once everything is done, I mean, like we want to give him an offer.
But presently, they intend to be hands-on. Krishna will be the manager of record. If this person comes on and takes the full-time position, they may put him as manager of record, but that's for the future.
Okay, all right, that's okay.
And yeah, I'm also planning to go for that alcohol course, which is offered. so
Yeah,
that we
they've
can-
both been informed of what that entails.
This particular place,
Yes,
we
sir.
have
Yes,
the
sir.
License Commission, the Police Department, the City of Lowell, the Code Department, the health, everybody knows this place, everybody. I think everybody in the City of Lowell that has anything to do with city government knows this place, okay? And we certainly don't want to see it turn out to be what it was before. It was a nightmare, okay?
Yes, sir.
It
So
was an
that's-
absolute nightmare.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the reason why we are, I mean, like ours is a family restaurant. I mean, like
All right.
we really do not want to rent it out to a college kids and lose the real business. So, I mean, like we want to be in charge. I mean, like.
If you do that, you know, let me just tell you one quick thing, and, you know, if you do that, if you let one group in there some night that passes a false ID, every single kid at Lowell High is going to know Monday
Yes,
that
sir.
they got in your place
Yes.
and got served. It's unfortunate, but it's a sign of the times.
Yes.
Okay? And as I said earlier, and I think your council can tell you, I'm for Lowell. I'm for businesses working in Lowell, opening up in Lowell. You're taking on a tremendous venture.
Yes.
A tremendous venture. So, you know, based on, you know, well, I'm going to take your counselor's word that you understand what you're getting involved with.
Yes, sir. I
okay?
mean, like,
I'm pinning it right on him, 'cause
Yes,
I know
sir.
where he has breakfast.
Yeah, as I was telling you, I mean, like, we really did a lot of research, put a lot of research into it.
Yeah.
The reason why we went for this place is like it has a big kitchen, and we really want to attract the carry-out business from the neighboring towns, and at the same time, I mean, like, in future, if there is a city meals tax, I mean, like, the city would be getting benefited, and the place, the way it is located, we are really after the family businesses. I mean, like, if you see the location, it is strategically located, sitting right in between the all towns.
Chelmsford, Westford.
Chelmsford, Westford, Andover. And the kind of food we are trying to serve is more like a family thing, like people who would be eating health-conscious people. I mean, it's like all just the grilled stuff without using any oil or any kind of those things.
He's hinting that I should be considering eating there now, since it's health conscious.
Doesn't sound like my place.
No, I mean, I do see from your backgrounds, you both have advanced degrees, have pretty solid backgrounds as far as working in both defense and software. I'm sure that Attorney Zaroulis has gone over everything with you.
We have.
I mean, and I'll accept his representation that you guys are going to go ahead and be careful in selecting your manager, and that you're going to make sure your people are tip certified. So, with that, do you have any questions?
No, I'll
All right.
entertain a motion.
All right, on your representations, I will make the motion then to grant the license.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
sir.
I'll second it. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you, sir.
gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
okay. Huh? Yeah, well, Andy, you explained to him this has to go to Boston and, you know, okay? And
And
I don't know if you can do this or not, but you know what? One of the things they might want to look at is whoever they're looking at they're going to be putting a lot of faith in this person. You know, you might get a query on them by a, you know, check in the back.
And I think
We
we'll
don't want them led down the
We'll see
wrong
you back
path.
here when you guys have a full-time manager that you intend to have replace.
And you watch us, I mean, like, we are trying to set up really a model business, like,
Okay.
to grow from here. I mean, like,
All
that's
right.
our motto. I mean, like, the liquor is something.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care now.
Thank you.
Commission will now open the hearing on the application by Kyoto Japanese Inc., doing business as at Sogo Sushi and Asian Cuisine. Stephen Lin, President, for a malt beverages and wine only restaurant license for premises at 16 Merrimack Street, an unnumbered door to the south side for egress, first floor dining room and sushi bar, service area, kitchen, a cooler freezer area, office. Mr. Chairman, this matter was advertised in the local newspaper June 29th, and abutters needed to be notified, and the Lowell School Department.
Introduce yourself for the record.
My name is Peter Lim. I'm here. I'm council representing Kyoto Japanese Inc. To my right is Mr. Stephen Lin, the president and principal owner.
Okay. All right, let's just get the public portion out of the way. Anybody here, you want to speak in opposition, in opposition, in opposition? Hearing nothing, that anyone want to speak in favor, in favor, in favor. That portion of the hearing's closed. Okay? We have the green cards. Did we do a background check?
Yes, sir. No, nothing to report.
Nothing to report. That's what we like. Okay? Tell me a little bit about in your words. In your words. Put the mic on. Make sure the green light's lit. Tell me a little bit about your experience running a restaurant.
This is my third restaurant. This is my third restaurant.
Your third one. Very good.
Yeah.
Where are the other three?
I first restaurant in Connecticut.
I'm sorry?
Connecticut.
In Connecticut?
Yeah. And
Okay.
second one in Haverhill.
Haverhill, okay.
And this is my third restaurant.
Okay, do you still own those two?
And this one we sold.
You sold them.
And
Are
I
they
would-
still in business?
Yeah.
They are. Okay. The one in Haverhill, how many times did the police have to respond?
No.
No.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing trouble in that.
And how long were you in business?
Around maybe 7 years.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm the chef now, 15 years chef in a restaurant.
You've been in total 15 years, but you were 7 years in Haverhill.
No, 7 years in my own business.
7 years with his own.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
15 years. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay, and the restaurant that you had in Haverhill, is basically a sushi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Japanese and little bit Chinese.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you have a liquor license at the last location?
Yeah.
Okay. Any problems with the liquor license at the last location?
No.
Any problems with service to minors?
No, nothing.
Okay. All right.
It probably seems that this has really gone very simple, but you did a great job. Your lawyer did a great job. I mean, I know we put you off, but your application, if voted, is going to go forward to Boston, and when it gets there, they're not going to have any problems with it. And that's all we ever tried to do from the beginning. I think your attorney got a little frustrated, but whether it's the green cards or whatever it is, if you go by the book and you cross your T's and dot your I's, it goes right down the road, and it seems to pay off a lot, better at the end. The only other one thing I wanted to look at. Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is... Did he put a value on the license, Ryan? Did you notice? Did he put a value on the license? I always check to make sure. Did he, on the license, he didn't put a value, did he? On his application? Application, the license. He put any value on the license?
No, what it is that the investment is at $45,000 for equipment and $23,000.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. That's all. Okay, I just was checking, the reason I asked the secretary was, you need to know that the license belongs to the city of Lowell. It's the city of Lowell property. When you pay for the license, you're paying to use it, but you don't own it. It's not an asset. So if you go to sell the business, you can't necessarily sell it with the license. The people that you would sell the business to would make an application for a transfer, okay? And I just wanted to check that because we had an instance at one point where one slipped through the cracks in the floor, and after it got all said and done, they said, well, we own the license. We put it right on the application, so we're very careful of that. That being said, I make a motion to approve the license.
I'll second the motion.
Motion seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 All right, no,
Okay, now it's got to go to Boston. Your
all right.
application, okay?
Thank you. I think this is part of.
Okay, is that part of it? Yeah.
Commission will now take up the matter of an application by a corporation known as Highline Group, Inc. Charles Fotopoulos is the president for a used car dealer license, Class 2, for premises at 93 Chelmsford Street, this being an open lot of approximately 16,958 square feet, with an office trailer approximately 576 square feet.
Back here. Introduce yourself for the record.
Charles B. Fotopoulos, President, Highline Group, Inc.
Now, okay, this is, oh, this was a used car lot, right?
Yes, it was,
Yeah.
Mr. Bailish, yes. I
Okay.
was there for 12 years. I had to rent it out. I'm going to try to reopen it.
I'm sorry?
I was there for 12 years prior to moving
Oh,
to
you were?
Lefter Street, correct.
Okay, all right. And what is your relationship to the one up on Drum Hill?
I'm the president of that company as well.
Okay, so you're a glutton for punishment.
Yes,
Yeah, oh, okay.
something like that.
Hey, you're running a nice ship. I got to say that. I go by the place; it's clean.
Thank you.
There's no papers, no trash. You do. We haven't, to my knowledge, received any complaints in the office or cars that you sold or whatnot. You go by there and it really, it's a nice business. It's credit to Lowell.
Thank you very
That's
much.
all I can say.
Appreciate it.
Right.
No, I have no questions. You said, I have no questions about the business at all.
The old,
This has all been.
bakery. This is
right,
all.
It's all old bakery areas.
Yeah, the
All right,
bakery, what's his name's bakery, Price's Bakery used to be right here. This is Howard Street,
Okay.
right?
Correct.
Howard Street
Correct.
runs up to.
Well, I know the area. All right. I don't have any
Motion?
questions. We'll make the motion then. Unless you have
Seconded.
Any objections? Any problems from the police
I-
department?
Was there a number of vehicles limit to this?
There was 75, Mr. Nguyen.
75.
Is that what's acceptable?
75? It's a big lot.
Generally, what happens, Commissioner Weicker, is that we try to keep it within reason. In the words, if the lot size allows for one vehicle, generally 180 square feet.
That's so the big guys like you and I can get between the cars. Don't let them kid you.
No, I looked at it. It's almost, that's more than 200 square feet per vehicle, so,
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you very much,
You're
gentlemen.
welcome.
Thank you.
What's this one?
Commission will now take up the application by Richard P. Daggett for a used car dealer license, Class 2, for premises at 645 Roger Street, open lot approximately 70 feet by 125 feet, with office trailer 12 feet by 40 feet. One thing I need to bring to the board's attention is that the numbered address at 645 Roger Street, that should be amended to read 639 Roger Street. And also, the applicant will probably be now in a better position to explain the situation, but there is a concern with the City of Lowell Assessor's Office and the city's inspectional services regarding a trailer that exists on the lot as well.
Introduce yourself, please.
Richard Daggett.
Okay, Richard, and tell us what the problem is with here.
About the issue that was just brought up, I was just up in the building inspector's office and took care of that.
Okay, what was the issue?
I think there wasn't, the original person that put the trailer there didn't have a permit, I believe. So I went and filled out the proper paperwork, and I already had an electrical inspection when they had a problem with electricity, and they're going to go out, and they said I should be able to pick up a permit in the morning.
Okay, who's here?
Jiffy Lube is next door, and Dunkin' Donuts is on the other side.
Oh, man, that's a brutal spot. Yeah, okay.
It's been licensed in the past, as recently as last year.
Yeah, yeah. I know right where it is.
No problems to report.
No? Okay. Almost 15? Yeah, 7 and 8, yeah, okay. And where were you licensed before you went here, Richard?
I've never
You've
had
never
a...
been in the business?
I've been in the business my whole life, but I've never had a used car license.
What business have you been in?
Repairing, auto body, reconditioning, and I also go to auctions and buy for other dealers.
So now you're going out on your own? Okay. I don't have a problem with it. There's no string lights. Keep the lot clean. It's
just did
15 cars.
I just did a
This
whole...
many plus this many. That's it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
We
you.
don't want to go by and say, oh, gee, you know, we've got these other 6, we're moving them to another lot. No. 15 cars.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
When the inspectors go out or the police go out and they look around, you know, everybody's got a million excuses why they've got cars on the... Well, I'm going to bring that on in a minute. I got a customer for these 6, you know. 15 cars, okay?
Okay.
All right. You got a good reputation as a mechanic and whatnot. You should be able to do all right, okay? Ray?
Right. No problems, then as long as there's no problems, I'd say keep it that way. I mean, you're going into business for yourself, good luck.
Thank you.
It's not an easy business, but good luck to you on it. And I'll make the motion to grant the Class 2 license.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very
Next.
much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Commission will now open up a hearing on the allegations of misconduct as charged by Kenneth LaValle, the acting superintendent of police, against the licensee Atlantic Liquors, Inc., doing business as J. Silva Package Store. Michael J. Byrne is the manager of record, the all-alcoholic beverages package goods store licensee at 424 Chelmsford Street. The complaint being there was a sale to a minor.
Okay. Introduce yourself for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Brian Occasion from the law offices of Kevin Murphy for Atlantic Liquors, Inc., and with me is Thomas Byrne, Vice President of Atlantic Liquors, Inc.
Okay. Do you want the complaint read into the record?
No, Mr.
No, you
Chairman.
waive the reading of the complaint?
Yes.
Okay. Would you just give a brief overview of the complaint for the listening audience?
On May 11, 2007, at about 7:15 p.m., a 19-year-old male who was assisting the Special Investigations section of the Lowell Police Department was sent into Atlantic Liquors without identification and was able to purchase a 6-pack of 12-ounce Bud Light bottles without being asked for ID.
Okay. Who was on duty?
I was Lieutenant James McPadden and Detective William Samaras.
Okay. Did he look 19?
Yes, I have a photo of him, of how he looked that evening. Sure, absolutely.
That's always like the #1 question I ask, how old is the guy?
Okay. Yeah. Got a beard.
No.
I'm sorry, the person on duty at the store, it was Charles Byrne.
I'm sorry?
The person on duty, the clerk on duty at the store was Charles Byrne.
Okay. And where is Charles?
Charles is not available. Charles is my brother. His actual name is Emmett. It's C. Emmett Byrne, but he goes by Emmett as my father did. It's not Charles. And we have no dispute with the police officer's description.
What happened?
They made a mistake. And it's the second one that's happened in the course of the last 6 months and hadn't happened in 25 or 30 years before that. We have, as I've told my attorney and whatever, after the first chastisement, and I should first say I apologize for being here. I'm kind of embarrassed, and my mother is quite upset with us. But you chastised us. There was a mistake made before. We had made some measures to change it. We informed the help after some days off of the required procedures, and it obviously wasn't enough. So what we have done since is to construct the store or change the design of the store so that there's only one way to approach the register. You have to come down like a one-way street to get to the register, and we've hired an employee whose sole function is to check IDs at the beginning of the line approaching the register. Again, I came here reluctantly today because I feel embarrassed, as I've said. But the policeman is absolutely, totally correct. And we have made corrective measures since. And it was my brother, there's two brothers that work there. They've been in the business for 25, 30 years, as have I had been. And that's the story in a nutshell. It was a mistake, and we did it.
Mr. Chairman, very briefly, as my client eloquently said, the Byrne family has been in business over 30 years in the city of Lowell. They've owned 3 liquor stores. They've only had 2 alleged violations, albeit both in the last 5 months. They have made corrective measures, and they have hired additional employees where their sole job is to check IDs to make sure this doesn't happen again, and they're not here ever again in front of you.
My question, Tom, would be, why wouldn't you get a machine?
To be very truthful with you, and I don't know if I should say this out loud, that there may be some change in the ownership of the particular facility relatively soon, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to invest in something that may be somebody else's problem.
Okay.
And that's the answer. And the truth of it is that I'm not particularly enamored with computers or machines or that type of thing. We screwed up. It's as simple as that. We've hired this person to, in effect, replace or try to do the function of that particular machine. And they've reconstructed the store. Like I said, the problem was, and we should have realized it before, is that you come to the counter, you can approach it from a bunch of angles, it gets busy, somebody's trying to just trying to get people out the door and serve the next customer. It shouldn't have been done that way. There are signs posted, there were before, and the policy has been rather vigorously enforced, not by me, which I don't carry much weight, but by my mother, who does. So it's that simple. I guess that's the only answer I have for you.
Right.
Counsel, what are you asking that we do in this case?
Well, I would just ask you to show some leniency towards my client, and it will not happen again. 2 violations in 30 years is, in the grand scheme of things, is not a lot. It's very serious, and we hope that it won't happen again, and you can show some leniency on Atlantic Liquors.
I'm willing to gamble on that.
I'm willing to gamble on that.
All right, a week suspended for a year. You make another mistake, the store's closed for a week. You willing to gamble on that?
I'm willing to gamble on that.
Ray, a week suspension.
I'll
suspend
second
a
that.
week
Yeah, I think that's,
For a year.
Thank you.
Am I correct?
I think that's, you ask for leniency, and basically that
Now
we'll give it
call
to you
your
as a
mother, Tom.
suspended.
I'm sure she's watching, sir. I will.
I'm sure she'll, okay, you know, the idea of having somebody there is a good idea, okay? And I can only tell you from experience, story after story, that folks coming in, okay? A mass driver's license is supposed to be infallible, you know? If you accept a mass driver's license, and it's the age. We just got one that the ABC out of the Boston just ruled on, 7-day closure, first offense, and the guy had an altered mass driver's license. And they accepted the mass driver's license.
Mhm.
They shut him for 7 days. I think that's a bit drastic.
Right.
I do. For somebody with your record and you know, what you've done for the community over the years, but you also got to make sure that this person standing at that line
Is
knows the
accurate.
gravity of what they're doing.
You're right.
Mhm. No, I agree, sir.
If you have to have a little calculator there, you know, no, you know, whatever it takes, okay?
I think my client knows the gravity of this matter, and he will do his best.
As I said, sir, I believe that the situation may rectify itself for other reasons well
Okay.
before the year.
All right. We did, we voted, motion made for 7 days suspended for a year. Seconded, all in favor, say yes. Yes. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we do have 3 complaints on other matters to do with licensees, alcohol beverages. Acting Superintendent Ken LaValle has cited a complaint against Catcher's Mitt Pub, Inc. William E. Hoey is the manager of record for an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant license at 726 Gorham Street, this being a sale service to intoxicated patron. Bo Inc., doing business as Fo My My. Jimmy Tran is the manager, all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 1733 Middlesex Street, sale service to intoxicated patrons. And the third is the KOB Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Highland Tap, John C. Crowley Jr., manager, all-alcoholic beverages restaurant licensee at 318 Westford Street, sales service to intoxicated patrons. Commission need to make decision as to date of hearing.
Bring them all in the next meeting, right?
Yeah.
Only 3 of them. Bring them in. Okay, and while we're doing this, we need to talk about this Highland Tap, okay? I read the complaint. It really bothers me that here at the bottom of the complaint, the last paragraph says, and I'll read it, in the past 18 months, the Lowell Police Department has responded to fights, assaults, and disturbances at the Highland Tap 20 times. 20 times! They've come before us once for supposedly having an intoxicated person when they went in to check IDs. 20 times. I would appreciate it if we got to, if you would convey a message to the chief. We have talked about this. When they get called, we should get a report and have them in here. Not 20 times later. We're lulling these guys to sleep. That's a neighborhood. There are homes all around that place. And there are some really nice people that live up there. I happen to know some of them. That's beside the point. 20 times. Are we waiting for somebody to get killed before we bring them in? You know, totally we need to, I'd like to have at least 1 or 2 of the policemen here that have been involved in this. This is serious. This is the new paradise up, you know, this is what happened up there. You know, you have to understand, you can't give some of these guys a break. You can't. You go in, you know, and you're going to give them a break and give them a warning. And, you know, the next day, he comes back and, like, escalate the violence just a little bit more. No need of you guys running back and forth to this place 20 times. You got a hell of a lot more important things to do than going over the Highland Tap. So when we get them in, I want somebody here.
With regards to scheduling, if I could make a suggestion, just because, again, to get the officers in here for a hearing in 2 weeks, assuming notice doesn't go out until next week, for them to get an attorney with Summers, they may or may not ask for a continuance. I would ask if we could schedule it for not the meeting in 2 weeks, but 4 weeks, just to give everyone time. And then
Okay.
if they wanted to change it, at least we now have time to notify the officers, so their schedule won't be.
All right,
No,
so you're
right.
the August 9th or the 23rd,
Yeah.
whichever date. I mean, what's easier for scheduling for getting the officers in? Because I know that a lot of that is juggling the schedule around, too.
I look at it as if we could have 4 weeks, because 2 weeks,
Okay.
again, by the time notice goes out to the licensee, and then for them to find an attorney, and
Okay.
again, if they
All
ask
right.
for a continuance, sometimes we don't get it till the day before, and, you know, to call off the officer who could have been working or
Yeah.
been on vacation.
Okay.
4 weeks just
Okay,
is more
that's
manageable.
fine. But just if we could get a couple of them, I mean, there's just, I'm sorry, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this without them being here or not, but I read something like that, that drives me crazy. I'm saying, you know, 20 times the police have been tied up, you know, on some stupid, it's just not necessary. This is the guy's livelihood. He's been in here. We've talked to him when he bought the thing and told him.
Right, it can all be
Yeah.
addressed.
So you're asking that all three of those,
Yes.
all three
Right,
are going to be
I would
for the
just say,
9th?
as a general rule,
Yeah.
it'd be easier, again, for scheduling it and
Okay.
what have you, it's just,
That's
gives
fine.
enough time, I think, for everyone to do what they need
All
to
right,
do.
yeah, okay, Brian? That all right? Okay.
I'm on for 9 August.
What, anything else?
Yes, one just, well, two items. First of all, communication from Brian J. Bond of Bond and Properties LLC. It's dated July 9th, 2007, requesting that the licensing board remove Jose and Johnny Gonzalez as a used car dealer licensee for premises at 147 Cambridge Street, effective the date of his lease expiration. Mr. Chairman, Johnny Gonzalez, I believe it was Jose Gonzalez, appeared before you at our last meeting, June 28th, and he was before you, and also Brian Vaughn was before you, and the two parties are contesting a matter to do with the lease that currently is in place. It'll expire July 31. Apparently, it's irreconcilable differences. It's into the civil court, and the situation is Mr. Bond is a tenant waiting in the wings to take over the lot, the location, and the tenant would be an applicant for a Class 2 used car dealer's license. Though the Gonzalez brothers have vacated the premises, and that's been established at the last meeting on June the 28th, they still have the lease, their bond, their $25,000 bond is still in effect. And the question is that Jose Gonzalez had intimated that he might look for another location, which the license could be, subject to local board approval, changed from the current address at 147 Cambridge Street. And the fact is that Mr. Bond is now anxious to get the Gonzalez licensee off the lot, and hopefully as soon as August 1st. But the commission would need to, before entertaining a new license application, at least it's been the policy of the board in the past, to entertain a new license application subject to the existing license being surrendered for cancellation. If that's not before you, then would the License Commission consider a hearing to cancel or revoke the license if the licensee of record is without premises?
Well, let me just ask, when is the licensee's license scheduled to expire at this point in time?
January 1, 2008.
And do we have an application for somebody else at that address yet?
There was an application until yesterday morning. Richard Morris had been the applicant. He requested his application be returned to him. Apparently, he wanted to amend something on the paperwork. I obliged and gave him his paperwork back. He did file a fee of $75, which has been recorded and received by the city, by the office. Should he file a new license application, there would be no requirement on his part to file an additional $75 fee. I'm not sure what he has in mind with his application, but apparently he's may be looking to amend it in whatever manner he feels comfortable doing. So unless he was to file another application for you to consider, which will be at your next meeting at the earliest, July 26th, the question is whether the bond request is something you want to take action on at this time, or just continue it for the 26th of July.
Point, I guess I'm kind of inclined to just continue it at this point if there's not a pressing, I mean, and the matter's in court, and I don't want to interfere with the court proceeding. There's nobody else applying for a license at this time. I guess when there is, we'll be in a situation where we've got to make that decision. So let's continue it, I guess.
If it's inside the
motion.
There's a motion? Seconded.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll communicate to Mr. Bond that his proposed tenant is withdrawn his application temporarily, presumably, and...
So there's no pressing need at this point to interfere with the court process.
Okay.
Right.
All right, fine.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Okay. Mr. Commissioners, the last item is an application by a corporation known as Wizard Tree Corp., doing business as Blue Tala. Stephen J. Ramirez, president, is requesting an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant license for premises at 15 Kearney Square, I believe it's Unit C1A, and is there legal notices presently to be published July 13th, that's tomorrow morning, for hearing to be July 26th. This is the site of the Lowell Sun, formerly the Lowell Sun offices on the first floor, street level. The attorney is George Eliades.
Right in the building where the newspaper was?
Where
Or where the printers are?
where the front office was. Yes,
So
that's the...
that's being converted now to commercial retail?
The developer is a fellow by the name of John DeAngelis. I'm not sure what his corporate entity is, but the building itself has been divided up into various units, condos. That level, the street level would be converted to a restaurant that would be, apparently the intent is to be a sushi type bar restaurant. And it would be on the left side, so that it would be at the corner where the canal is,
Yeah.
and the front door, and
Close for the sushi. Okay,
so that's what's being...
bring them in.
They're anxious to get going and get this license if
Get
they
out
can.
the fishing poles.
They have a scheduled opening date? All right, we'll hear it at the next meeting.
Okay. That it?
Yeah.
You have anything you'd like to bring up? The police department, anything to bring up?
Audience have anything to bring up?
Mark, you got anything you'd like to say? Coming home, Benjamin. Motion to adjourn.
Second. Yes.
All in favor, say yes.